you joined. Am I right? You still need 1,500 hours, is that right? And an operational tour to get selected?
Yes, you need to be assessed as above average, at least 1,500 hours, and an operational tour under your belt. And that really adds the sort of postgraduate maturity of your skills, really, as a fast jet pilot, to give you the confidence and the sort of hard-won skills to fly in a very tough environment. Formation flying is a routine military environment in terms of getting many aircraft with one radio out through bad weather to, say, the target or the training area. Formation flying in the Red Arrows is brought to that next level, the extra polish, to display advertise and act as ambassadors, not just for the Royal Air Force, but in fact for the United Kingdom when travelling overseas.
Indeed, yes, and that's a very important point as well. And here we're also about motivating youngsters, so do go up to the STEM Village. We're going to have a little gap after the Red Arrows for about an hour and a half or so, just a chance for you to get out and get some refreshments and make the most of it. And of course, we will then go into our night session, which is a really, really delightful and enjoyable session where we set it primarily to music, and it's just wonderful to see these guys lighting up the skies. It's an absolutely sublime evening. Well, once again, we've just got to make sure that we're prepared, ready for the next show. We're back with you again in just a couple of minutes. Well, I have to say, looking out to the right-hand side, that low cloud and drizzle over there is looking ominous, but we're keeping our fingers crossed here in the hope that we can achieve something for you with the red arrows. They're all set and ready to go, jumping in the cockpit now. But while we've got a moment, just a reminder that if you're not around at the weekend or you can't make it back to the show, you can still watch it if you go to AeroView.TV, and you can do that via the link on the Bournemouth Air Festival site as well. Then you get the chance to find it, and the commentary is connected to that as well. Great opportunity, nice new company and a bunch of young lads to work with. But finding out more simply about the things that we're talking about in the box at the moment about how the red arrows work, well, if you pick up a program, you'll get all that sort of information and a lot more. It's a really, really good program, one of the best I've seen this year, and incredibly good value at £6.50. Now, that money, of course, goes to help keep this show on the road, and you've heard the difficulties. We're all going through a cost of living crisis, but it's a big team effort, you know, and they're carrying a huge weight, BCP Council, but we're delivering really, really great entertainment here. So do your very best. It's a brilliant souvenir, and also celebrating the coronation of King Charles III this year as well. But there are lots of other ways, aren't there, Andy, to help us keep the show on the road with all sorts of other notable contributions.
Well, exactly, and it's thanks to the event organisers, BCP, they put on the Air Festival. It's absolutely fabulous they can do this, but they can't do this without their partners. In particular, tonight we have the Air Festival patrons sponsoring the night flying, and indeed it's notable members of the community and who support all of you and us in providing the Bournemouth Air Festival. Bournemouth Airport, for example, are providing a sponsorship for the Typhoon FGR4, and it's the Highcliffe Marriott that are also sponsoring the Tigers a little bit later. But again, all of this information can be found both in the brochure and on the app as well, which is powered by the Porsche Centre Bournemouth. And with your unique code that comes from the festival app, you can then keep up to date with things that can be updated from the brochure. The brochure is printed, but the app's digital and agile and can be updated.
We're all connected, Andy. Fantastic stuff. Let's just hope that we connect these jets to the sky as well. Well, wait and see. Back with you in a sec. Well, we're in deep discussion here at the moment, of course, about this mizzy sort of misty, murky, damp. It's really irritating weather at the moment.
The Scots have a word for it, don't they? Dreek.
The dreek, yeah. Although it's a bit warmer than what they get up there, isn't it? At least we get warmish fog down here. But you know, we're deeply into it, and we've just been chatting to the current Red 10, of course, and he says the boys are literally in the cabs now and about to roll at Bournemouth Airport. So they're going to come and have a look, which is great news. And so I hope you're all excited about that. And of course, boys and girls, we do like lots of audience participation here. So do wave to the guys when they come past. They certainly have a crack at the first few minutes, but we've been told that actually they do have a bit of flexibility in their schedule this evening. So it's quite possible that they may well just belay for a little while longer. But the Red 10 is right now just getting himself prepared to say a few words. So we'll just give it a short moment, shall we? And then we'll come back to you. And forgive this. This is live commentary, live action. And
everything's live, George.
Yeah, it is.
Even us up here.
Well, I know it's unusual, isn't it? Yeah, they had to give me a good kick to get me started. Unusual to have a 3-hour layover before you get going during the course of an air show. But I think let's just fingers crossed. Let's just pray for a bit of sunshine, shall we? I was just wondering about while we're I've got a little bit of background music here. Some of my funny times that I've had over many, many years with the Red Arrows, and I seem to remember, Andy, it was with you, and we were at Dawlish, and you're there to do the commentary and observation. You had to stand on the top of the railway line. Do you remember that?
Yes,
it was a very...
I do. I think it was either the toilets or an ice cream van. But,
yeah, and you had to go up a ladder.
Yes.
It was a very perilous position.
Yes.
And we're all ready to go, and I'm saying, get ready for the Red Arrows, and you turn around and said, yeah, I've got it. And then nobody appeared. Do you remember that?
So then my next words were, as I saw in the distance, a beautiful loop flown in formation by 9 very distant small red aircraft. I said, boss 10, go ahead 10, wrong bay, wrong bay, come back, come back about 10 miles. And sure enough, a short pause, George, and then the theatre continued. And another
well-known destination had a free fly past.
Yes, they did. That was the next year. We'd done the fly past for that next year's display. So we'd done a site, as we call it, a site survey. Yes.
Brilliant.
It's all about knowing your local area and establishing good relations with the locals.
Brilliant. Well, whatever happens in the next 10 or 15 minutes, we hope you're going to stick around most of the evening, because we do have some really exciting aircraft lined up for the night display, starting off with the mighty Typhoon. A neat and really, really accomplished display from the Firebirds. And the good news, I actually hear people chatting away on the radio now. That's always a good sign at an air display. And then Brendan O'Brien's amazing little Schweitzer helicopter, nicknamed Otto, which will literally explode in the skies. It's flying through the airframe won't, but it will look as though it is. That's all it's saying. Very deceptive. And then we're going to finish off with a night glow jump from the Tigers freefall parachute display team. And a lot, Andy, you've done a bit of a site recce already, as I did yesterday afternoon. What high spots did you note?
Well, I think it's the great support of the military teams that are here, with the 3 villages, Royal Navy, Army and Royal Air Force, up here on the cliffs and down on the beach there. I think it's a superb turnout from the military, who are extremely busy, committed all over the world.
Yeah, so do make the most of that. Up on the east overcliff is mainly where the military action is, but alongside that is also the STEM marquees, with some really interesting things for the kids to look at. But what is also great about that military village, well, the RF village is up on the east overcliff, Overcliff. Down on the beach, of course, is where the Royal Navy and Royal Marines are, alongside the British Army. And that just goes on for a very, very long way. And you can literally climb over a Challenger 2 tank and a Jackal down there, as well as getting involved with the rest of the Royal Navy as well. Hey, we've had a heads up from Red 10. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please put your hands together and give Red 10 a massive welcome for the Red Arrows.
Good afternoon, everybody. I am Squad Leader Graham Muscat. I'm Red 10, the team supervisor with the Royal Air Force Aerobac team, the Red Arrows. The team are airborne from Bournemouth Airport. As you can see out to sea, the weather isn't too great, but we're just trying to make that assessment as we go on. Yeah, I'm just in the conversation on the radio with Red 1. They are all airborne from Bournemouth. We have to obviously assess the weather. As you heard George mention earlier, safety is paramount, not only to the aircraft and to the pilots, but for all the individuals on the shore and on the show. So therefore, we have to make sure that the weather is perfect for what we can do. There are 3 types of show that we can do. It's either a full show, a rolling show, or a flat show. Full show is 5,500 feet, a rolling show 2,500 feet, and a flat show is 1,000 feet. As you can see from the weather out to front of us, we certainly won't get a full show. I doubt whether we'll get a rolling show, and it's more likely to be a flat show. But that decision is made by Red 1 as he rolls into the show, and he'll make that decision as he arrives. I'm just listening to the team radio now, to the conversation by Red 1 to the rest of the team. The team are airborne. As I said, they're behind us now. They are just checking out the weather. They're having a good look around, make sure there are no showers coming in, which will reduce the visibility, and therefore we'd have to stop the mid-display. However, there is always the danger this could happen. And of course, as I said, safety is paramount. So I'll be listening to the radio. I may go quiet every now and then just while I get an update from Red 1 as he makes those weather dynamic decisions, whether we can display for you today. However, I'll still give you some more information about Red Arrows. It's our 59th display season. We're displaying over 60 displays and 15 fly pasts this year. It's a very, very busy season. We're now coming towards kind of the last quarter of our display season. We've only got September left. But it's great to be here on the first day of Bournemouth, and we really, really hope that we can get a show on for you today. The Red Arrows, of course, represents the Royal Air Force, which has a service on 24 hours a day. It's on duty 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And we do that through our quick reaction Typhoon aircraft. Hopefully you'll see that display over the weekend. It's a phenomenal piece of equipment and aircraft to fly. I've not flown it myself, but I believe from those who have flown it, it's phenomenal. And that aircraft is on duty all across the world and across the UK, safeguarding the skies and protecting and keeping us safe in our beds at night. And we do that also alongside our NATO allies. In addition to that, other assets in the Royal Air Force, such as the C-17 aircraft and the Chinook, are often the first ones to be called into any humanitarian aid all across the world to help those individuals who are less fortunate than ourselves. And one of the biggest assets of the Royal Air Force is our workforce, that whole force mentality, whether that be regular reservists, civil servants and civilian contractors. We work together to make sure that the Red Arrows machine continues to work, and we help all those across the world and defend the skies of the United Kingdom and Great Britain. One of the questions that get asked all the time is, when you leave the Red Arrows, will you rejoin the Royal Air Force? Well, actually, the Red Arrows is part of the Royal Air Force, and we're just a military unit like any other squadron in the Air Force. And as such, we are commanded by Wing Commander Adam Collins. He's former Red 10, he's also flown Tornado GR4, and he's also flown the F-111 while on exchange with the Royal Australian Air Force. And he's also flown the Hawk T1 in the aggressor role with 100 Squadron at RAF Leeming when it was in existence. Now when the team arrive, normally we arrive in wall formation. That's about 200 to 300 feet from wingtip to wingtip. However, today, Red 1 has elected to run in pyramid, and that's just to the weather, and it allows him to make the formation a little bit more maneuverable as he runs into the show area. Don't forget, when they arrive, it's a great decision by Red 1 once he tries and does the displays. Give him a massive round of applause and a huge cheer, and I'll transmit it to the team as they come over the top. But Bournemouth, please put your hands together for the 2023 Royal Air Force Aerobatic team. It's the Red Arrows! As said, they arrive in pyramid formation with the red, white and blue in trail as Red 1 brings that formation all the way around to the left. Red 1 makes the call, and we make a small formation change. We change from pyramid into 8 arrow. Bringing the team around to the left in his third and final year as the team leader is Red 1. That is squadron leader Tom Bold. As I said, Tom's in his third and final year. He was synchro leader and synchro pair in between the years of 2014-16, and he's also flown the Typhoon operationally. He's also a former qualified flying instructor on the Hawk T Mark II and the Tucano, where he was the Tucano display pilot in 2010. As they roll out, keep an eye on the formation for a dynamic shape change. As Red 7 and 8 perform a rollback and change the shape from 8 arrow into Vixen. As Red 1 brings the team round to the left, you can see the formation now in Vixen, which is all 8 aircraft. And of course, if we were a 9-ship, number 9 would be at the back and we'd be in our famous trademark Diamond 9 formation. However, for 2023, we are only an 8-ship, and that's simply because we can only safely supervise and train 3 new pilots every year. And it's simply that the maths just didn't work out for this year. However, next year is our own 60th anniversary. Our aim is to be back at the trademark Diamond 9 formation. As you can see, Red 1 working extremely hard with the rest of the formation. Dodging some of the weather. Yeah, as expected, you saw it in that display there. All formation almost went into cloud. And not surprisingly, Red 1 has decided to terminate the display for safety due to the weather constraints. I'm sure you'll appreciate it's a very disheartening decision made by Red 1. It's not something that the team, and certainly Red 1, does not take lightly. We know how much you were looking forward to displaying today, and how much you've been looking forward to a full, great show here at Bournemouth. However, as I said, I'm sure you appreciate that safety is paramount for the team, the aircraft, and all of you on the seashore. So, as I said, sorry that we have to terminate display. Once again, on behalf of the Royal Air Force, thanks for sticking it out today. Thanks for coming to see us. I'm really sorry that we cannot display. I hope you get to see us either Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Myself or Officer Commanding Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team will be at the PR tent for the next 30, 45 minutes if you want to come and say hello. But please come and say hello, come speak to us, get some pictures. And again, once again, on behalf of the team, thanks for coming out. Thanks for your support. I hope to see you again in the next couple of days. Thank you. Goodbye.
Well, give a huge round of applause and thank you to Squadron Leader Graham Muscat there. You can see that they definitely tried their best, and that is not a very pleasant P-Super out there. And, of course, with the dusky weather and the mizzle and everything else and the low cloud, a very sensible decision. But I know disappointing for you, and we'll do our very best as the evening progresses to make sure we get those night shows going. Now, they're not due due to start until 7:45. Okay, 7:45. So clearly we're going to have a slightly longer break now than was originally planned. So do make the most of it. At least the rain isn't too heavy now. There's lots going on around the site as well. Plenty of food outlets as well, and some of the street food, fantastic. There's some great new pop-up restaurants down on the beach, and I've got to say, if I get the chance, I'll certainly be down there as well later on this evening. But make the most of it. Do hang on to all your belongings and look after the children in particular, won't you please? And then do your best to enjoy yourselves. Don't rush away. And we honestly are all working very, very hard to do what we can. But the great British military here also doing their best.